Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is a very last minute video because this is a situation that just happened very recently, a couple days ago, so I wanted to jump on it, let you guys know about it, discuss it, and I think I came across this video the same way that a bunch of other people have. I was scrolling through my For You page and I kept getting recommended these videos about this girl named Claire Miller whose videos were going viral, and the reason she was going viral was much different than most people's. It was because she had murdered her disabled sister. And like I said, this is very early on in the investigation. It pretty much just happened a couple days ago, so there's not a ton of information on it, but I've tried to gather as much information as I can for you, and I'm going to lay it all out. On February 22nd, 2021, in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, a 911 call came in from a very hysterical 14-year-old girl claiming to have stabbed her sister. Now, the 911 call hasn't been released yet, but I'm extremely interested in hearing it. Very curious on how she sounded on there. Was she really hysterical? Like, I think it'd be a really good tool to understand this a little better. According to police, around 1:15 a.m. they arrived to the Miller home on Clayton Drive to find Claire in the driveway covered in blood. Just picture this for a moment. You're pulling up to this house, it's completely pitch black out, it's the middle of the night. All you have for lighting is your headlights, and as you're pulling up to this home, you see a bloody 14-year-old girl in the driveway of her home trying to clean her hands from the blood in the snow. So there's blood everywhere, there's blood in the snow now. Like, I really feel for what police have to see on a daily basis and what most people do not have to deal with and see, and that is definitely something that sounds straight out of a horror movie. So from there, the police get out of their cars. Claire allegedly keeps repeating that she stabbed her sister, and then she ends up leading the police through the house. Now, given the parents are still asleep during all of this, as far as I know, leads the police through the house to the bedroom where her sister is. So inside, police found Claire's 19-year-old sister, Helen Miller, who, let me add, was wheelchair bound. She had cerebral palsy, but she was laying in the bed with a pillow over her face. And then when they lifted the pillow off of her, they realized that there was a huge knife that was jammed in her neck. We can speculate that maybe she used the pillow to try to quiet Helen, because you have to remember that her parents were asleep this whole time. She didn't want her parents to know. She didn't go wake up her parents before she called the police. The parents were asleep. They didn't know any of this had happened. Possibly the pillow was on her face to try to quiet her. Pillows are also placed in scenes like this because they don't want to look the person in the face while they're doing something. But again, this is just speculation. From everything it's seeming so far, that this seems very calculated. Either way, the police also stated that Helen had her arms up and her hands towards her face. So most likely she was attempting to try to defend herself. I don't know what extent her disability was at, so we don't even know how well she could have defended herself, which makes this even worse. It's not like she could have fought off her sister and ran off to try to get help. There was an attempt to try to save Helen's life and revive her, but it was unsuccessful, unfortunately, and Helen was soon pronounced dead shortly after. I just need to bring this up again. The parents were asleep this entire time, and I'm just trying to put myself in their shoes, how horrific that would be, to literally be asleep and to be awoken to the police in your home because your daughter killed your other daughter. Like, that is just insane. Claire was obviously quickly arrested and she was taken to the Lancaster County Prison, where she is being held without bail currently, and she has been arraigned with 1 count of homicide. They also have decided that they want to charge her as an adult. She also has a preliminary hearing today, so I'm very interested to see how that all goes and what happens during that. But as of filming this video right now, it is not out right now. There's no information on it. So by the time I'm done editing this video, if there is any information, I will definitely insert it right after this clip. If not, I will definitely be doing an update video very soon on this once more information comes out. So it will be in that video. That being said, you should definitely hit that subscribe button and the bell so you're notified when I do post an update. What is very interesting to me, and I'm just gonna speculate once again here, is on her mugshot, she clearly has scratch marks on her neck. So we can maybe infer that Helen did attempt to fight back in some way. Police, though, haven't stated a motive yet, but it is still an ongoing investigation. So as I said, there's definitely going to be so much more information coming out with this, especially with how viral it has gone. There is a little bit of information I could find regarding the investigation so far. They did acquire a warrant to search the home, and it does state in it that they took items such as 9 kitchen knives, a stuffed rabbit, which that one is a little weird to me, along with a whiteboard that had the 14-year-old's chores on it. So Claire's chores were written on a whiteboard. Now I'm wondering why they took that. I wonder if there's going to be something with the parents, maybe. I don't know where they're really going to be going with that, with this whiteboard, why they take it as evidence. Maybe there was some kind of like outlandish chores that were written on there. Again, complete speculation, but I guess we'll see. They also took Claire's clothing as evidence, obviously, which is very common, and that included a blue t-shirt that had a cat face on it, as well as gray, black, and white checkered pajama pants. So an autopsy was done on Helen, and it was released that she did die from multiple stab wounds, and it was ruled as homicide. We'd hope that was the ruling considering everything. What I don't understand is why they stated her time of death was at 4:13 a.m. It is stated in multiple places that the 911 call came in just before 1 a.m. The police arrived at 1:15 a.m. So I'm not 100% sure why her time of death was ruled at 4:13, whether they were trying for about 3 or so hours to revive her, or they just did not pronounce her dead until she was at the hospital. I'm not sure what the rules are, if they're different per state or whatever, but I did hear somewhere somehow police cannot pronounce someone dead. It has to be a doctor, so they have to bring the body to the hospital and the doctor pronounces them dead. Now, don't take my word on that. That is just something I remember from the back of my mind. I had heard somewhere. I'm not 100% sure. I just know that there's like a 3-hour time gap that's a little strange to me. The big question is though that everyone's asking is, why did Claire murder her sister? Especially a sister that was disabled and really couldn't defend herself. I did find something very interesting in an article. In an application for a search warrant filed by investigators, police say a witness allegedly contacted them at around 1:42 a.m. and this person told police that they had spoken to Claire on the phone and that she was having suicidal and homicidal thoughts, which is pretty believable considering what ended up happening. They don't state who this is. If it's a close friend or something, I would definitely believe it a lot more than if it was just some random person calling in to say this or letting the police know about this. So not too sure who this was, if it is a credible source. It seems from the article that they're trying to say that this was a credible statement. So really, to understand why this happened, we kind of have to figure out who Claire was as a person and what her mental state was at the moment. And that's kind of pretty hard because there's not much out there on Claire. She is 14. All we really have to know at the moment is stuff that she's posted on her social media, which she did have a TikTok, which is again where most people started hearing about this case. And it's hard because social media is a highlight reel. On the other hand, it seems the whole environment on TikTok is to be very authentic and to try to tell the good, the bad, and the ugly. So it really depends. But I do social media myself personally, and I know a lot about social media. Social media is normally a highlight reel. From what I know, Claire's TikTok has been taken down. I'm not sure if TikTok did that, if her parents did it, who knows, but it has been taken down. But a lot of people have downloaded the videos, so her TikToks are still out there. And I know the police are trying to use her social media to try to figure out a motive and why she did this. Now, whether she'll confess and tell everyone why she did it personally, I'm not sure yet. That hasn't come out yet if she has said why she did it, but it seems like the police are trying to investigate on their own and figure it out through social media. And from that, the only real information that's out there regarding the social media and about Claire is that she is 14 years old, she lives in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and she is a 9th grader at a local private school. And like any teenager nowadays, she's active on TikTok. That's why there's so many TikToks floating around right now. It's very crazy to see in this day and age how like when something happens like this, it immediately can go viral and everyone knows about it. Big thing that's really freaking people out is that hours before that she allegedly committed this murder, she had posted a TikTok. I think since there is a much younger generation on TikTok, they are very confused how someone can seem very happy and like they're in a loving family on their TikToks and then hours later go and murder their sister. But from everything that I have seen and watched and researched, it is actually surprisingly more so common when this happens that people seem like everything's fine, but things were not fine whatsoever. From her TikTok, it seems that she loved anime. She did a lot of the classic like voice dub and dance TikToks that people like to do. There were a few though, I will say, that I seen that didn't age very well. It seemed like she was heavily interested in kind of these darker animes and a lot of stuff that it did involve kind of murder and stuff like that. I'm gonna stop you right there if you're going towards like, oh, she was into these murder things. If you're sitting here watching this video, you're clearly interested in true crime. A lot of people are. Now, I'm not saying this was her, I'm just speaking in general. That's just giving me vibes of people comparing, say, school shooters to playing Call of Duty, and I do not think there's a correlation in that. I personally love Call of Duty. I personally love very gruesome and crazy wild true crime stories. I love researching and hearing about that kind of stuff, but I am not gonna go murder my sister in a couple hours. That's the difference. And I don't think that's gonna give us a answer to why she did this. There's so many people out there that are into that kind of stuff and don't go and murder people. Like I said, there were some that did not age too well. Well, I'm gonna play it here.
It's not fair, 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 not fair! Why won't you forgive me?
Little strange. Again, with the whole highlight reel thing, there were videos of her father and Helen as well in some of her TikToks, and from the TikToks, her father seemed like a very fun-loving man. Helen was in them. They all seemed happy. Happy people generally don't go and murder their sisters. So there's clearly something going on in this family dynamic, or something going on with Claire herself, that this happened. I wanted to kind of help bring a dialogue to this because I've seen so many comments of people being so confused to like, well, they looked so happy, how could this happen? And it honestly is a lot more common to see people happy online and then stuff like this happen than you think. If you go see my very first video on Alexis Sharkey, she has so many YouTube videos and Instagrams where she looks like she's living her best life, but allegedly things were not going as amazingly as her social media portrayed. So that really just leaves us here. I'm curious, after hearing all this information or doing your own research, what is your theory on what happened here? I'm honestly personally not going to make any judgments at the moment of what I exactly think happened until more information comes out. I really want to hear this full story. I want to see what unfolds first before I make a solid judgment on this, but I am curious to hear what everyone else has to say and what their theories and opinions are on this. Do you think at 14 she should be being tried as an adult? My next case I'm going to be posting also involves a minor that's also being charged as an adult currently. That's also a current case. I'm very curious on people's opinion on stuff like that. If you think she should be tried as an adult, I've seen a lot of people saying, well, she committed an adult crime, she should be charged as an adult. I honestly play devil's advocate with this kind of stuff. I bounce back and forth and I love to hear different opinions on it, and I kind of sit in the middle. I completely agree with that. And on the other hand, I think, well, she is a minor. Maybe she just needs some kind of help and she can be rehabilitated at that age. It kind of just depends on the whole motive to this crime. I'm just giving this as an idea. They said she was like a psychopath and she did this because she loved to do it and she loved to kill, then yeah, I don't think she should be out into the public. Then again, if she was struggling mentally, if there was something happening at home, I don't think she should be, I don't know how to word it. I don't want to say she shouldn't be punished for it, because she should be punished for doing this. This was extremely wrong, especially towards someone that could not defend themselves. I'm playing the other side here, but she is 14. She is extremely young. If something was happening that she ended up doing this for a reason, per se, maybe she should have a lighter sentence and get help to be reformed rather than just tossed in jail for her whole life. I know either way I say something, there's going to be people arguing it. So I am trying to understand both sides of this and what may happen. I think we just need more information first, but I still am curious to what you guys have to say. But like I said, I will definitely be making an update video on when more information comes out, and I really do think more information is going to be coming out very soon on this case. It is just so fresh. So please hit the subscription button as well as the bell so that you're notified when I do post an update on this. Also, let me know, did you see this on TikTok as well? I never thought I would find a true crime case like this on TikTok. With that, I'm gonna let you guys go. If you are interested in seeing some more true crime videos, definitely go click on the other ones that I have posted, and I think you will really enjoy them. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.